Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Occultists Anonymous out of the corner of the internet. We are, as always, sponsored by Roll20 and viewers like you. I am so unprepared. I was preparing by reading notes and getting things ready. Specifically, the viewers are Ryan, Thomas, Noba, Perry, Michael, Brandon, Catfeathers, Josh, Alexander, Puppeteer, Sinna, Emil, Moku, Melissa, Doc the Doomed, Other Michael, The Arcane, Bernie, Alan Michael, Al, Yusuf Sama, Lieutenant Zukolin killed a Klingon, Julian, Delora, Jenny, Blood Angel, Jack, Zoltan, Funzo, Milo V3, Vortex, Adele, Crazy Man 1772, George, Woodfoot, Neo Megas, Chris, Shaksara, Distress, not distress, but Destress, Beacon Camel, Host, Daniel, Thomas, Taryn, Hang Falleth, Parker, and Riafio. Thank you very much for your support. Helps us refresh gear, pay for art, and all that kind of fun stuff. So thank you very much for that.
Art is almost done.
It's so good.
It's so close.
We have seen
basically
everybody. Theo has a couple last little tweaks and shading and stuff like that. But so if you are on Patreon, if you're the Cultist or Sleepwalker tiers, keep an eye out because we'll have that final art up. And if you're not, well, you'll probably see it next week.
When we last left our intrepid crew, they had discovered an ancient Iconian facility. There was some
Iconian.
Yep, some exploration.
We've been told this before.
We haven't heard that name.
The Old Empire. You give us the name, then, right? Yeah.
Let me pull my notes. I don't have that down.
I didn't write it down, but I remember we have been told who the ancient people were.
Yes, the demons of air and darkness and Klingon mythology and a few other older civilizations in the galaxy all have these mythological legends of these creatures that could just appear from across the galaxy without any starships or anything. And they were considered conquerors and oppressors by much of the galaxy. You guys, whoever decided to just sort of take a chance that they were actually not that bad, and establish contact with one that appears to be in a stasis pod. They are very tall, very slender creatures, based on the sample size of one that you have access to. And the feminine voiced creature was able to communicate mentally from within the stasis pod and has a communication with you guys. There was a brief fight with Captain Gupak, who was summarily disintegrated by Lieutenant Zukolin with his disruptor pistol that she captured from another Klingon, which sort of eliminated that particular threat. He was really trying hard to take the Prophet Turas out of the equation, but ended up failing, and you guys were able to get into the gate room and establish contact. The Iconian Namarin has allowed that you can make one trip from here using their gate technology, but that one of you must remain behind in order to make that happen. This will be a trip through space and or time. And you will all have to go at one shot. She's gave some warnings that you must make sure that you do not interact with yourselves in any way, because bad things happen, like capital B, capital T, capital H. So I think you guys had settled on a plan that you were going to use the gate to appear on the Klingon bird of prey.
So about that, I've had a week to think about this. No, we're good. No, that's the plan.
Yeah. And we're gonna go capture it.
Based on what you know of the Klingon bird of prey, they have a crew of about a dozen, and you've accounted for 4 of them for sure. So that's probably going to leave 7 or 8 left on board, as long as they're not all in one spot.
I mean, that's me and the lieutenant by ourselves, let alone the fact that we've got the captain here. Like, please.
It's going
so the
down.
plan is to, with you and your temporary ally, Wadun, will appear on the bird of prey, conduct a boarding action, and just basically take it out of the fight with the Curie, and hoping that your tactical second can just deal with the D5 and drive them off or disable them.
Allow her to prove her mettle.
That's right.
With even odds.
Yeah, Lieutenant Shore. And the Curie would be about evenly matched with the D5 class light cruiser, so it'd be interesting to see how that all goes. Wadoon is, and you entice Wadoon to help you capture the bird of prey by saying that it would be his afterwards, which was quite an enticement. And a very successful diplomacy roll from our captain has persuaded Wadoon to definitely give you guys a hand doing that. So the plan is to just capture the bird of prey and remove it from the equation, and let Lieutenant Chavor deal with the D5 on her own, using all the assets at her disposal. So because you guys can go back in time at any time, you have possibly years in front of you to explore and analyze, if you wish, the remains of not the remains, the Iconian base here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we left off, and I think we're over to you guys.
Well, if I can ask a question out of character.
Sure.
Would it be possible in narrative time to describe some things that we would like to do?
Sure.
Okay, because one thing the captain has in mind is considering that Namarin has an all-encompassing knowledge of space, time, history, galactic conflicts, cultures, that if there's any useful information that could aid Captain Chichalor in forming conflicts, preventing deaths, being a better diplomat across the galaxy, he would be quite eager to take some time to study under her tutelage.
So narratively during conversations, it's going to come out that she does not have like a broad view of the time stream or anything like that. Because of the nature of their physiology, they cannot travel through time themselves, but they, using their uplifted races that serve as their heralds, they can send their heralds through time and things like that.
Okay, yeah.
So that's all their information comes from that sort of exploration. So you're looking for possible advantages. She doesn't get. She's more of a, from her position here.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of been stuck in the same place for a long, long time. So she's not really aware of what's going on in the galaxy right now.
Gotcha.
And because of the nature of time, expeditions that they went to the future didn't reveal, because the future always changes, right? Events happen, and often exploring the future causes events to change in the past and that kind of thing. So she's not necessarily aware of what's going on in the galaxy now, but she can give you insight into the history of the galaxy and what happened, and give you information on her people and things like that.
Great, that's helpful. I'll be a little more specific then.
Sure.
What Chichalor is looking for is an opportunity to resolve what seems to be an intractable conflict that's happened in his part of the galaxy with whatever people, like some insight that he could link into that would not occur to him. Something on Andoria, something on Earth, something even with the Klingons. If he were able to intercede and say, this is what happened, and this has become intractable, is it become intractable because people don't know the history, and I want to help resolve that so that he can build allies. That's what he would be looking for.
Okay. Let me think about that one for a little bit.
Go right ahead, and you can shift to other people.
Yep, and there's going to be some probably rolling involved with that in a little bit, but let me put a pin in that. What's everyone else going to be doing while the captain is engaged in a conversation with the Marion?
Man, I'm looting that engineering lab.
Yeah, I want to go through like the science and engineering rooms and just try to not even necessarily just take everything, because I feel like over time that some of the stuff should be here for the other folks who come through. But like, I want to try to learn anything I can about it.
Sure, no problem. So that's what you two are up to. Dr. Hudson, what are you up to?
Trying to go through the med lab more for like records and things. If I can access any of the scans and stuff like that were going on.
Sure.
Just any more sort of data in advanced kind of.
So you're looking more for information rather than tools and things like that.
Right, like specifically, like what is the methodology and the approach? Like knowing what data and stuff they keep can tell you a lot of like what they find important and stuff like that.
Okay.
And actually, I realized I was playing Drew and not Commander Kitneal there for a moment, because I'm like, wait, Commander Kitneal has like engineering of like 2. No, more than likely, actually, Kitneal is going to be sitting with Maya, and because Maya is staying behind, and basically getting her last words, last thing she needs to be done, that kind of stuff, and basically making sure that he can tie up her loose ends. The last thing she wants to say to her father, you get the comm unit out, and basically, because the whole like passing on from one life to the next is kind of something Kitneal is familiar with. So he's like, all right, hang on, let's talk about this.
That's really cool.
So let's start there because there's some conflicting drives there. So I'm going to want some sort of and Kitneal's kind of approach is like, this is going to be an important transition for you. We need to document it and make sure that you put your life before this to bed. And she's all, there's so much technology here, I need to see it right now. So there's a little bit of tension there between your objectives. So let's do some sort of a persuasion roll, probably presence command or insight command.
Yeah, presence command, because again, I have 7 insight, and that's just never happening.
Sure.
Introspection, nah. Yeah, presence command, and then would this be diplomacy?
Sure.
Okay,
I'll buy that.
Cool. And the other thing is, Kitneal isn't going at this from a like, you need to record this, so much as, hey, you're staying here. That's cool. You may never get a chance to speak to family and friends again, so let me take that stuff for you,
right,
kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not spending any momentum on this. Cool.
Okay.
2.
And let me, where did I put her? There she is.
Is the prophet coming with us?
Yes, Prophet's going back with you.
Because at the end of the day, we're still rescuing the prophet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she agrees to give you a bit of time. I guess it makes sense that she would want to, say, farewell to her father and things like that. But the idea that she's going to be able to stay here, she has time apparently to get familiar with stuff. So there's no particular rush. So she'll agree to stick around and do some recording with you in the tricorder.
Cool.
Okay. Dr. Hudson, you want to give me a reason medicine roll? Or something else if you wish?
Sounds kind of what I was going for.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's sufficient. The difficulty was 2. All of these are going to be difficulty 2 stuff unless you're doing something particularly fancy. So they have an extensive library of like bioscans and baseline and comparative anatomies and stuff like that for a whole bunch of species, including, for example, early humans, because the Iconians were around a long time before humans were building cities and actually farming and things like that. And even based on the records that you're seeing, even back then they were developing technologies and therapies and things like that. So they were learning about the early hominids that were living on Earth, or the early humans that were living on Earth, and figuring out ways that they could treat them or understand them better, what kind of threats they faced, diseases that were common, and that kind of stuff. And not from it wasn't from how can we control them or anything like that. It was trying to understand. And you see there's similar records for many of the what are now inhabited planets in the galaxy, where the Iconians are very careful to not interfere in what was going on. They had strict protocols for what they could and couldn't do, and but they were effectively scientists and explorers, so they were finding new things and just gathering evidence, gathering information about what was going on around the world. You do see notes of a few interventions. They had there was one species that they felt had significant potential to become heralds, right? Where they would be advanced enough, they would be able to help the Iconians out. So they did some things like headed off some a plague that was threatening to greatly weaken the species and that kind of stuff, all surreptitiously. So they would do these sort of secret interventions to allow species to flourish, based on potentials and also analysis of where those species were going to end up in the future. So based on future analysis and their estimations of how that species would develop is kind of where they focused their efforts on. So they weren't necessarily shaping them, but they were allowing them to proceed along the paths that they could see where their potential would rise to. Does that make sense? Okay. So you can find records of a few instances like that. This doesn't look to you like these were conquerors or oppressors in any way. Like they were careful to respect the local civilizations that were developing around them and that kind of thing. So let's go with the engineering lab and Sense Coleman.
Let's start in the science lab.
Okay, science lab, sure.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to just sort of check out their tech and see if I can learn anything that would be useful to take back with me.
Sure.
Because I'm not trying to loot it. Mm-hmm. If they have like 6 of a thing, I might ask if I can take 1.
Sure.
But
so
reason and science.
Reason science. Difficulties 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't think any of my focuses work.
Yeah, this would kind of be xenotechnology, so
yeah. I failed.
So there's tons of devices, but there's none that you're able to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're not powered, or it's broken, or there's some sort of deterioration or something like that. So for this time period, you weren't able to dig up anything. Okay, Captain. Here's what I will do. I'm going to want a roll from you.
All right.
Let me have a look and see what I want to do here.
Yeah, see what you want to do.
This is going to be a little bit of an insight, I think, but I can. You can make a pitch for something else.
Okay.
And I think security, because you're looking for an opportunity to fix something that maybe destabilizes the future.
Ah, okay, gotcha. In the future from what they're talking about, right?
Right.
Yeah, because I'm also looking for things that are currently unstable.
Yeah, using some sort of historical knowledge you can gain from the Marion to try and either fix a current or future conflict that might show up.
Perfect.
How does that sound?
I think that sounds okay.
It's I can, but I would certainly accept if you got some other pitch you want to make for me.
Yeah, let me think about it. You know, I'm always inclined to say presence, but in this case, perhaps control and directing the Marin along a careful thought process. In that the Marin has a nearly encyclopedic knowledge. So I doubt that they would be able to recognize what's important to me immediately.
True.
But if I'm able to guide them through various kinds of conflict and ask the right questions, then I might get them to say something that occurs to me. Like, I don't know what they know.
Right.
And they don't know what I care about. But if I'm very deliberate in how I'm engaging them in conversation, I can be a very effective interviewer.
Control is generally more for tools and things like that, but that's kind of how you're using Nimarin, I guess. I'll accept the control security role.
Okay, cool.
Diplomacy would apply here because you're looking
Excellent.
for diplomatic angles
Fantastic.
to historical information.
Wonderful.
I'm going to give the difficulty a 3.
Okay. I would like to spend... Ooh. So we currently have 4 momentum, according to what I have on my sheet.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to spend... We have 3 threat, right? That hasn't changed.
I have 5 threat.
You have 5. I thought 2 got spent. Okay. Well, we're at 5 threat. Dang. All right. I'm going to...
Yeah, there were a couple of complications I took this threat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I guess I didn't note those. So, of the 4 momentum, I'm going to spend 3 to get 2 dice. Roll 4
Everybody
dice.
okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 4 dice with my focus. Control security. Right. Let's make this happen. Bloop. Seriously. Like, seriously.
And you don't have anything that would give you a reroll?
I didn't advise myself on this, so I can't do that. And this doesn't count as melee combat.
No.
And I didn't buy a die with threat, and I don't have cautious or bold, which is funny.
You didn't
I
use
really should have
determination.
taken bold. Yeah, and I didn't use my determination.
Okay.
I was planning on saving it for later when
So
there's
you
some
do
crazy
get
stuff going on.
some broad insights into
Okay.
Some historical information,
Mhm.
but it's all like quite dated. It's all like sort of ancient history that sort of set up existing interracial prejudices that formed, 10,000 years ago. So it gives you sort of a better understanding. So you didn't get the big prize, but you did get 2 successes. So for that, I will give you a one-time advantage in a diplomatic setting of your choice. So you can keep that in your back pocket. Like, oh, this relates to what Nimarin was talking about.
Okay, cool.
So you can carry that forward for you, that you'll have a one-use advantage sometime in the future when you're doing some sort of a diplomatic thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
Cool. Had you got the big prize, I was going to give you that, but as a determination. Like a one-use special purpose determination. Yeah.
That would have been cool. I should have spent my determination.
Right, so that's our first time period. Second time period, anything going to change for anybody?
Not for Kidneal until, Maya's like, nope, that's everybody I care about.
And I think that's kind of at the point. Maya's now like, let's get to some goodies and have a look around. Because she's sure that there's stuff in here that's going to be able to help you guys in what you're doing on the Bird of Prey.
Sure. Yeah, in that
Can
case,
she help me?
Yeah, I was going to say, take her over to the lieutenant and let them work together. And basically, I'm going to go provide assistance to the doctor and be like, what do I need to? Well, not write down, but what do I record down? I will be your secretary. Let's get a huge data dump in here.
Problem. And Maya, with her xenotechnology focus, can be an assist to whoever wants it, but she can only assist one person at a time. So however you guys want to use her as an asset kind of thing. Captain, what are you up to now?
Captain's probably not going to do that again. He feels satisfied that at least he got some information and doesn't want to treat Nimarin like just a book, right? Like it's not fun to be treated like an encyclopedia. So, let's see. What would the captain want to... Oh, the captain's going to work on the plan.
Okay.
Gonna need to create a plan of action.
So
yeah.
You and Wadoon will sit down, put your heads together, and come out with some sort of an assault plan.
Yeah.
For a warbird. Okay.
Oh,
Warbird
yeah.
of prey. Okay, no problem. Depending on successes and stuff, that'll give you an advantage
Cool.
to use during your assault.
Fantastic. I
All
was
right,
hoping for that with plan of
so-
action.
Yeah, so let's go with Dr. Hudson. You've got some background on what the kind of medical research that they were doing here. Did you want to keep on exploring that, or did you want to branch into something else?
I think I'd like to dive in on a plague incidents, and other sorts of anything similar to that. That's
Okay.
like definitely my like field of study. So seeing how an advanced society would deal with that and stuff like that. I
Sure.
think whether or not it ends up being actually fruitful, like it's definitely something that the doc would be very interested in.
Go ahead and give me a reason science roll. A reason medicine, I mean. Sorry. Okay. 2 successes, so that's plenty. And you're looking for general techniques and things like that?
Yeah, just general, like, the specific practices they use to fight diseases and emerging pandemics and stuff like that.
Right. So a lot of the time they're operating in ways that they don't want to be observed. So it's some fairly surreptitious stuff. One thing that they sometimes did was they would actually engineer a virus that would deliver an immunity to a population to head off a plague that they knew was coming in advance. Sometimes, and it depends on the specifics of the illness or the disease, they would introduce something through the water table by seeding clouds and letting it rain and that kind of thing. Other times it was manipulations of the environment that would disfavor the development of the organism that was going to be causing a problem. So it was all fairly subtle stuff that they were doing. There wasn't generally a lot of dramatic stuff happening. And I think that's about it. If you wanted to delve into it a little bit further, you might gain some insights into how to do things yourself. There are some similarities in some of the illnesses that they were dealing with that sort of extrapolate into modern day illnesses that you're aware of. But because of the time between them, there's no direct correlation. But there could be some techniques and stuff there that you might be able to apply to modern problems in the galaxy. So if you want to give me another rule to dig a little bit deeper difficulty on that, will be 3.
Do we have any
We have
momentum
one
available?
momentum.
One
We have
momentum.
1.
I would like it.
Go for
We
it.
have it. I'll have my assist me.
No
Oh,
problem.
yeah.
And
Ooh, nice.
you get that one back,
You put it back.
or you can obtain information.
What is the valuation of success here, right?
So it's the same sort of deal that the captain was in the running for. Is you have earned yourself a 1-use special purpose determination to deal with like a large scale medical issue that you just keep in your pocket and you can pull out at any time and say, hey, this reminds me of that stuff that I read when I was at the Iconians, and it draws some parallels and stuff like that. And if you want to obtain some information, you might be able to get some insights into some current issues, if you wish.
Yeah. I will spend it, and anything that can help progress the knowledge of ways to combat specifically infectious diseases, because that's my actual field of study and stuff like that.
Right.
A bit of I'm the only one with this knowledge if I come out of this alive, and make a name for myself. And
so they were very advanced in their ability to manufacture and engineer viruses that would produce beneficial results without harming the host. And Starfleet has played around a little bit with that, but results are kind of mixed. Sometimes there's side effects and the viruses grow a little bit too fast and cause harm to the patient. Sometimes the patient's immune system kicks in too aggressively and the benefit is huge. But through your extra analysis and spending that extra momentum, you see some pathways to sort of head that off and improve the overall effectiveness of those sort of therapies. So that's something
Dope.
you can to add to your arsenal.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. Commander Kitnell.
I mean, like I said, I was there with the doc.
Oh, you're helping with
Yeah.
the doc, right? I'm sorry, I wasn't getting you to do assists or anything like that.
Oh,
So
no big deal.
okay.
Doc had it.
Okay.
Glad he did.
Yeah,
Alright.
no,
Could
and
get some
I think a
momentum,
lot
though.
of it was the doc very surreptitiously being like, hey, what about this particular event?
Mhm.
Dude, I totally wasn't there, but
Sure, helping to guide the way and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll get you to do a roll anyway for
Oh.
medicine.
oh, sure, this will go great. 1 or 2 dice.
As an assist, so on.
Sure, 1.
Okay.
See, like I
Just to
said.
see if I can give you guys another momentum.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Nice.
Lieutenant Coleman.
I want, now that Maya's done giving her statement,
Sure.
I'm gonna ask for her assistance with this because I've been bashing my head against things and I can't parse it. This isn't what I do.
No problem.
Yeah, to see if she can help us find anything that might be useful in the short term for like taking over a Klingon warbird, and
Sure.
also just long term useful things to have, like quality of life things for the ship.
Okay. I think you probably have higher stats than she does. Like she's got an 8 and 2.
Yeah, I'm
So
11 and 5 for reason science.
So I'll have her do an assist for you. But her focus does apply. Okay, so that's one. If you, no, that's just one.
So I just need 1.
Yep.
Hey,
And you got
Nice.
a moment.
so that's cool. You can back in momentum.
Mhm.
Roll a D35 for me, because roll 20 is awesome that way.
Slash roll 1d35.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A 9.
Number 9. Okay. Okay. So this, and you spent some time analyzing it. This is just like almost like you'd wear like a pennant or a comm badge or something like that. Not that old series had comm badges, but it's just like a little thing that you pin onto your outer clothing, and when activated, it's like a short range teleporter. So
cool.
anytime that you would take damage or sustain a blow, the moment before impact, it will teleport you to a safe spot that you can see.
Neat.
So it's like a last minute avoid damage sort of deal.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Considering giving that to the doctor.
Also, probably a good idea.
Yeah, because we can all take hits better, and he's the one who's got to patch us up. So we kind of need him alive.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll do that. Just like, Dr. Hudson, a gift.
Yeah, so once it's activated, and you won't have a choice, like you can't
Mhm.
decide to stay where you are, you have to teleport somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the range on that teleport?
That you can see within an eyesight, yeah?
No, it's within short range. So it can move you up to one range category away from where you are. So it's not like you can it's not line of sight or anything like that. So if a Klingon runs up at you and swings a bat-leth, you can move to medium range from him.
Oh, okay. Not
So
like
he's got to run and close
short
the door.
range radio
Yeah.
or anything like that.
No, nothing like that.
Couldn't like teleport off a per se Klingon warbird and be on a nice, safe, big ship, huh?
No.
Now with the shields up.
But you could teleport from like the lower level of an engine room, to example, up into a gangway or a catwalk,
Okay, cool.
that kind of thing. So one
Very neat.
range increment from wherever you are is where you can teleport to.
Nightcrawler range, basically.
Yeah, nice. This will
A poof of blue smoke.
help you.
Mm-hmm. Sort of similar to the D&D Blink
Mhm.
kind of idea. All right. So that's another time segment gone. Did I get that right? What were you doing?
What do
Captain?
time segments matter when you can go back in time?
This is
Yeah,
true,
time
but
doesn't
I'm just
matter.
using it as a way to keep track.
And specifically, we probably
Just
have a impatient Klingon who's like, "All right, Federation, are you done yet?"
Well, now you guys are talking about
Does he
stuff that
want
he
anything?
wants to do. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and do the roll.
All right,
for the
cool.
Captain and Ladun.
So I was looking it up, and it seems like the most appropriate role would be control command, considering control is making plans and coordinating subordinates.
Sure.
All right, cool. And I think team dynamics might apply here.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. We got one momentum. He's going to assist.
He's going to be assisting with control security.
Great. All right. I'm going to spin that momentum if that's okay with everybody else.
Do it.
Sweet. 3 dice. Team dynamics. Control command. And you said depending upon the number of successes, we'll get an advantage. Is there like a target difficulty or?
Base difficulty is 1, but the
Okay.
better you do, the better your advantage will be.
Cool. Let's do it.
Well, Dune, slacking.
Spin determination. How often or this advantage? How widely will it apply? Will it be for one combat or the
That will
entirety of
depend
the
on your
mission?
successes.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So then I think let's see. Both values to chain of command depends on every link, and there's nothing better than action. Might apply
Sure.
to this. So I'm gonna spin my determination like I should have before.
Okay.
And then roll 3 dice. Because we have 5 threats, so I can't spin 2 to get a 4th die. All right, rolling. Okay,
1, 2,
complication. I got 5
3,
successes.
Complication. I'm going to take that complication as threat.
5
Cool.
successes.
Yeah, so we're now at 6 threat, maxed out, and I got 5 successes. And then
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna roll
difficulty is 1.
1d6.
So I'm going to give you 4
Yeah.
advantages
Ooh.
as a pool that you can spend during the time of the boarding action.
Ouch. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
So you can think of them kind of like momentum,
Mhm.
but creating advantages like that. No, that's just the way this is going to work now, sort of
Yeah.
thing. Right?
Gotcha.
So you've got 4 of those that you can use.
The best part is, and I'm going to remind people of this, is because of my talent, plan of action. If people succeed on a task that was made possible, had reduced difficulty because of an advantage created by Captain Tishalore, if that advantage represented a plan or strategy, case in point, they generate 2 bonus momentum.
Nice.
Lowering
Yeah.
damage, or excuse me, increasing damage, lowering
Mhm.
resistance. Yeah.
Yep. All kinds of things you can use it for. You can also
And-
spend it to take another action at a higher difficulty. If you want to shoot twice or something like that.
And for the podcast folks, no, the captain did not regain his determination.
Yeah, too bad. But it's useful that this is the last episode because the captain still has that one-time use determination from the temporary milestone because he didn't adjust his
True,
talents.
Yeah.
I can just hear Ziggy screaming for food out in the living room.
Well, good. He's back to normal.
Yes.
Hey, Craig, let me confirm something. So those 4 advantages, are they like through one round or one use per person, that kind of thing?
Yeah, there's
Is that
4
like a
individual
token?
uses,
Okay, cool.
and you'll spend them like momentum.
Great. Works.
So it's effectively the create an advantage momentum spend.
Excellent. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Just making sure.
And that'll
Great.
reflect the planning and preparation you guys have done as you've like drawn up a map of the Burrell Bird of Prey and figure out where the special tactical systems are and things you're going to need to know and things to worry about and how to fight the guns. That kind of
Awesome.
stuff. So basically,
Heck.
pull something out of your butt in the heat of the moment and get an advantage for it. And,
Yeah. That's
Cool.
what I'm talking about.
all right. So third segment, what's everyone up to? Starting with Captain, what are you going to do now?
Captain is chilling with Ladoon.
Is what?
Oh, you know what? Now that the plan is made, the captain would want to talk to everybody about the plan. But if you've included that in the last time segment, then I can describe something else that he would do.
Yeah, and that could just happen narratively. That's not much of an issue.
Okay.
Did you want to do any exploration or searching for gadgets or anything like that while you guys are here?
yeah, you know what? He would approach Commander Kitneal, and there's been a lot of looking for gadgets and technology that make things better. And he's just going to get down to brass tacks, right? And be like, Commander, I think that it's worthwhile that we spend a lot of time looking for complex, novel technology, but we should really also look for simple things, the kind of things you want if somebody tries to hit you with a batleth.
Well, that's because that was my thing. I was like, Commander Kitneal is now going to look for armor. Even if he doesn't understand how it works, he's going to find something that makes armor.
Is there a vest here that's hard?
Made of leather plates, perhaps? And
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine with it. Because currently I'm wearing this little jumpsuit.
I suspected that might not be Maya's inclination, even if Commander Zekelnen would be oriented to understanding those things or appreciating those things. That's what he'd say.
All right. So that's what you two are going to do, is look for something as an assist for each other?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So where do you want to go? Medical, engineering, or science?
Probably engineering?
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead. Whoever's going to assist and whoever's going to do the role, you can be a reason engineering, unless you want to take a pitch for something else.
Let's see. Yeah, I think Commander Chichalor would be trying to understand these things from experience. And sorry, that's right. Thank you. Captain Chichalor would be trying to understand these things from experience and context, as opposed to his understanding of the science and engineering. He doesn't. That's why he's going simple. Like what looks like it's armor. And so he's going to be putting stuff on and then working through it, moving around with it and see how it functions. So I would suggest perhaps control or fitness, more likely fitness and security, to explore how it affects his movement.
The thing is that there are probably things that would be protective in nature like that, but they don't look like armor.
Okay.
Like it's just a little disc or something that might create an energy field around you, for example. So I don't think fitness, but I would go with a control security.
Okay, cool. Sounds good to me.
I will assist with that. Wait,
Awesome.
hang on. What's your total?
Total is 14. You have a higher control.
Right.
So I think you should do it and I should assist you.
Cool.
And I think either hand-to-hand combat or risky maneuvers, unorthodox solutions might be focuses that matter. What do you think, Craig?
I don't know if this is a risky maneuver.
Okay.
What was the other one you said?
Hand-to-hand combat.
Sure, I'll go for that.
Cool. Hand phasers?
Maybe. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, your call. Because I was iffy about it too.
There are phasers here, but it's a whether or not you actually pull a hand phaser. But yeah, go ahead.
All right, there you go.
1 from the captain. 3 from the commander.
Yeah.
So you have 2 momentum you can bank, or you can obtain information.
Ooh.
Up to you.
I think we bank it, especially considering where we're headed next.
Or what I can do is I'll take that 2 momentum and give you a choice of 3 things.
I like choice.
Ooh,
so
that
you get
sounds
one.
good.
You're only going to get 1, but you can choose from 3.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. So 1 would be. Let me see here. So it's like it just looks like a little hand like a type 1 phaser, but it actually comes out as like a 3-foot, very thin blade of energy.
Ooh. Force
it does.
Right.
It does 4. It damages 4, but it ignores all resistance up to 4. So that's your one option.
I want a lightsaber.
Let's all call this what this is, Craig.
No, it's not a light slate. Not a lightsaber. It's I guess if you wanted to draw some sort of an equivalent, it'd be like a dark saber, because it's very thin.
It's not a lightsaber. It's a dark saber.
It's not like a beam of energy or anything like that.
Sure.
The other option,
that
you guys might be able to pick up, is a ray emitter, and this would be like a headband, and projects a array that would paralyze the target. Basically, just sort of freeze them in time almost. So non-lethal, but it would definitely remove somebody from the encounter.
Like the acting captain of a warbird.
Like the acting captain of a warbird.
But actually,
Difficult
we
for
did say
him
you wanted to
to-
challenge him.
Yeah, it's difficult for him to challenge him if he's been removed that way.
So.
Well, thank you very much. Sorry, I just had a coffee delivery. That's awesome. And the other one is, let's go for that one. Okay, this is it's like a hovering drone, but you can use it to seek out a target. And it will act independently.
But seek out the target and do what? Or is it literally just a puppy
You can
dog?
either have it seek general targets,
It's a Roomba.
or you can set it on in a defensive mode where it'll attack what you attack. But it basically gives you like a free attack, or you can have it go independently and engage something.
I like the Robo Puppy.
And that's just like a little frisbee, small little tiny frisbee that would hover around you.
You like playing Beastmaster Rangers, don't you, Drew?
No.
No.
I play a warlock with a familiar.
So there's two modes. One is like it'll attack when you attack and fire at what you fire at. Or you can sick it on something and it'll go and attack that thing.
Seems like it evens the odds.
Mm-hmm. That extra hand.
Yeah.
Paralyzed beam is also pretty good.
It's very true.
But how fashionable is it?
Does it clash with my transmog? Also, considering
Is the paralyzed beam reusable? I'm sorry, Drew.
Oh no,
I didn't
that's
mean to speak
actually a
over
very
you.
good question. I was just making a joke.
Craig, is the paralyzing beam reusable?
Ray emitter.
To use the terminology from Numenera, considering you're familiar with it as well, is it a cipher or an artifact?
It would be the equivalent of a cipher.
Oh, okay. So it's a one-time use.
Nope. This one you'd be able to use 3 times.
3 times. And is it going to require the same kind of skill and use as a hand phaser?
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay, gotcha. Because I was also trying to evaluate the use of these things to enable Dr. Hudson to protect himself.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to the teleporting device, just like it's nice if there's something he can do in addition.
Put all the magic items on the medic.
Yeah, exactly.
So the drone would probably be if you wanted him to have some offensive capability, would probably be the best because it doesn't rely on his skill rolls.
Okay.
If you wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's the best choice of the 3. What do you all think?
Yep.
Seems good.
Okay.
Cool.
So you may put down that you have a hunter-killer drone.
All right. HK drone.
HK.
Yep.
Ignore the 47 written across the back of it.
No.
Here to murder some flesh bags.
You're just trying to push that Star Wars in here.
Okay, and I have to jump in. It's meat bag, not. Okay, Dr. Hudson, what are you up to?
Just at this point, I think I have satisfied all my curiosities, or at least the manageable ones. And it's like double checking over supplies and stuff, and like a couple deep breaths and centering activities and stuff, because then it's going to be wild and woolly and
And damn it, Jim, you're a doctor, not a medic.
All right, now from previous research you guys have done, you can make a note, Dr. Hudson, that you have 6 of those automated medical probes. And they work kind of a similar way to the HK probe that you guys picked up. Is like you can follow somebody around and automatically treat them if they are injured.
Ah, okay.
All right. Lieutenant?
So we could set them up in a loop. Does it would it stack with the paralyzing ray? Could you paralyze them and then set the HK drone and the healing drone on them?
You're not sure how they would interact. Lieutenant Zucolman.
Yeah, I think I'm probably good. I can rifle through the science room again, see if I can
Sure.
find something else neat.
Yeah, go ahead. You wanted Maya to assist you there?
Yeah.
Nothing from her this time. Nope.
No. Oh man. Yeah, we probably broke something.
No, I will just bank that threat.
We already at 6 threat.
Oh, right, I'm max 6. Okay.
Like
I don't
as
think I can go
bad
higher.
as both of our rolls were.
All right.
And I'm gonna be done. If this
Wow.
is where we're at now.
And no joke, you guys had really bad rolls. Maya's was a 19, so nearly a complication, and your non-complication was an 18. Terrible numbers.
Yeah, I think we're probably good.
There's that loud breaking sound from the science room, and both the lieutenant and Maya show up and like straight faced. We didn't do anything. Just,
Yeah, exactly. Just walk and don't say anything.
oh no.
Okay, so you are working with a device,
Mhm.
attempting to figure out what it does, and you're not sure something went wrong. There was sort of a discharge, and you managed to inflict 2 stress on yourself. You don't know if it activated and accidentally hit you, or it was pointed the wrong way, or something like that. But you sustained some minor injuries.
Ash continuing the routine of accidentally electrocuting yourself.
Getting electrocuted again. We're back here at this point. Okay, I'm good. I found a useful thing, and now I've started breaking things. So
Okay.
Oh, does stress reset? Because I remember I had
Every
3 stress.
scene.
I can't remember from what, so I think it
Yeah.
would be gone at this
it's
point.
probably been a while, yeah.
It
Yeah,
refreshes at
okay.
the end of every scene.
Yep. So that's fine. Anything else you guys want to do while you're here, or are we kind of done with the Iconian side?
Yeah, it's like
We'd be done.
much as we want to
Ooh,
stay
I
here.
know. How about this? Is funny. I don't think we should actually do this, but a thought just occurred to me that considering that we have unlimited time and all the resources, right? If if the captain, the commander, and Lieutenant Zekelin rewrote the Starfleet command manual,
like, hey,
went through
while we're
various
here-
protocols. Now that we have time, right? Hey, you all have a problem with this regulation, right? Let's get some historically informed regulations here.
At which point the commander will point out, sir, we have all the time, but we are continuing to age.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You can absolutely spend 30 years here, but then you're going to show back up on the Warbird
Yeah.
as a retired Starfleet officer.
Not retired yet.
But no,
All
I
right.
think commander's good. I'm ready
Yeah, I
to-
think
Yeah,
good.
I think it's time. We got our advantages. We got
Make
our
sure-
equipment.
Make sure the doc is all set up with his robo
Protect.
drones.
Mm-hmm. And once activated, they will follow along whoever they've been assigned to.
Cool.
You guys go back into the gate room, and there's you approach Nimarin, and her mind sort of words appear, or thoughts, ideas, communication appears in your heads. And she says, "You are prepared to depart then."
As prepared as we'll ever be, and as grateful as we'll ever be for your assistance.
The Federation will face many challenges in the years to come. But it has a great potential to be a very stabilizing influence on the galaxy.
That's my great hope.
our friends, the Neve. They are ready for contact with the wider galaxy. But they are not prepared for the dangers that exist out there. They will need help.
We will have it.
And perhaps one day when they are ready, my stasis chamber will be open. I look forward to that with great anticipation.
I hope I'm around to see it.
You're
Look at
most
the other
likely to do so.
other members of the crew. Shrug.
I'm trying to think how she would respond. So on a private channel,
Only to your brain.
she says, well, part of you will be at least.
That's. I mean, even yep. Never mind. We're not having that conversation.
Yep. All right. She walks Maya through the steps to activate the gate. And there's that big thrumming hum that you guys remember from back in the Temple of the Builders.
Mm-hmm.
And the swirling vortex of energy appears underneath the archway, and it sort of stabilizes with a ringing sound. And you see an empty corridor, sort of misty and dark, and with red backlighting. And it looks like you're
Kind of claustrophobic too, aren't they? They're really tight compared to
quite
Federation ones.
Mm-hmm. And that's a thing just for the audience at home. Like the Federation ships, they have, in battle terms, they have a lot of fat. They've got like lounges and medical labs and science labs and stuff like that. The Klingons are very streamlined. They have a lot of punch, but they also have, there's a lot less places where they could get hit that doesn't affect something else. Right? The Klingon, there's not a lot of places where a weapon can hit that won't actually take something offline for a Klingon ship. That's just sort of how they're built.
They also don't have any chairs.
So yeah,
they
it's
sleep
fairly
on the
tight,
ground.
fairly confined, and you've got the red backlight, common to the Klingon ships, and you guys are ready to begin your boarding.
Yeah, I think I grab Wadoon's arm,
Mm-hmm.
and in Klingon, because I can't remember it. You know, today is a good day to die, and race him through the gate.
All right.
It's all right,
guys,
Doctor. I'm sure you don't speak Klingon.
I'm sure I better not.
And so when you say that to Wadoon, he just kind of looks at you and smiles and yeah. You guys rush through, and you guys again. There's no transition. There's no sensation. There's no vertigo or anything. It's like you're just walking down a corridor, and you turn around and the gate is gone, and you just see the captain melts out of the air and Lieutenant Colin melts out of the air.
So I want to do something before the captain goes through the portal, but keep narrating, please.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Then the captain would like to take up the rear. Mm-hmm. And after everybody's gone through and he's seen that, he'll turn to Maya and he'll say, I know that this is scary and you've taken a big risk and made a tremendous sacrifice on our behalf. And I and the rest of the people in my part of the galaxy will be eternally grateful because they will all benefit from what you've done. And I also want to encourage you to remember that you have gained something here. You are a xenotechnologist, and you now have an opportunity to be here and help further generations of your people understand that which you prize so highly. So he reaches out his hand and to give her a handshake.
Mm-hmm. She's not sure what to do with it at first, but you guide her through it, and she takes your hand.
Yeah, and grasps it in two.
And she's, I don't feel any fear, Captain. This is, in many ways, what I was born to do.
I'm glad you were born to it.
I wish you luck, Captain.
Thank you. We'll need it. He goes through.
You step through the gate. So the first thing that hits all of you is the smell. Sort of a sickly, sweet, oppressive body odor, kind of not happy smell.
Musky.
Very,
Gross.
very musky.
Hmm.
And you're not sure if it's just because it's like that the Klingons don't really value hygiene very highly, or if this is actually part of their air filtration system. You're not really sure, but the smell is the first thing that kind of hits you guys.
Huh. Were somebody baking brownies?
It's a little warmer than you might expect, which might be a factor if you guys are going to stay here for a long time. But you're in an empty corridor. Now, you know that from your talks with Wadoon, there's 5 decks to the bird of prey, and you can go to the engine room to secure that, which would disable a lot of systems, or you can head to the bridge and just take control. It's kind of however you guys wish to do that.
What's the plan, Captain?
Keep in mind that you have your advantages.
Yeah, that's right. I think an advantage would be able to disable things in the engine room as Wadoon is challenging the acting captain.
You could absolutely split the party.
The reason why I would propose this out of character, and then we can discuss it in character. The reason why I think that is, if Wadoon is going to be challenging the Klingon captain, right, then we're all not going to need to be in a melee or a phaser fight yet, right? If Lieutenant Zekelin is poised to shut things off, or if 2 people are there, right, it seems like it's less risky than... Also, I mean, if Lieutenant Zekelin used a teleporter and just came right back up, I mean, there are a number of ways that we could do this potentially. So,
Yeah, I do also think it's good to let him do this. And I mean, if he fails, then we'll have to clean up after him. But like, let him do his challenge and
yeah.
That
sounds good. Okay, so then the captain would say, as we're deciding where to go, he'd turn to Wadoon and say, "You asked for an opportunity to challenge the acting captain and earn the ship yourself. Well, then we aim to give it to you. But that doesn't mean we have to sit on our hands or twiddle our thumbs while you're doing so."
Of course not. Just be sure you don't cause any permanent damage to my ship.
He turns to Lieutenant Zekelin and leans back in mock offense and says, "How could you insult the skill of my lieutenant?"
And he started getting a bit of a read on you a little bit better now, so he gives a hearty laugh.
Okay, good.
Come, let's make our legends today.
Yes.
So, is everyone going to head to the bridge, or are you guys splitting up at this point?
Kitneal is basically on Prophet bodyguard duty.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And is basically doing the Terminator, like under his arm, like moving the Prophet.
That's good.
Kind of thing. Because I figure the captain is probably going to be like back up to Wadoon, and then
he's going to be a second for sure.
So, yep. I don't know where the Doc and I guess Lieutenant's going to the engineering. So, Doc, where are you going? I guess.
Following the captain is usually the closest to the point that I'm needed.
Yeah, my thing is I don't want to be by myself.
No, that's what I was thinking. If the Doc was
if
headed
everybody
that
else
way,
is going, I'll go with y'all. Yeah.
Well, and specifically, I'll go to engineering with you, and that'll get the Prophet out of the way too.
That's fair. Yeah.
And if there's any doors, I can open them for you. As we've determined, that's my usefulness to the lieutenant.
All right. So Kitneal and Zekelin are going to head to the engine room
with the Prophet.
Mm-hmm.
With the Prophet, and Doc, Captain, and Wadoon are going to head to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds awesome. A little early, but I'm wondering if maybe we should fit in our break here.
I mean,
okay.
That would
It's
be
a good stopping point.
Yeah. We're just
It seems
we
like
don't know if the second one will take the whole time, so
that's true.
Yeah.
It seems like a good stopping point. And a little early, but I think this is probably a great story point to take our little break.
Absolutely.
Where's my thing? My script. There we go. So thank you very much for joining us for another episode of Star Trek Adventures, our little mini series where we prepare us for new chronicle.
I'm prepared. I'm done. It's all ready.
Oh, you're
Yes.
done. Oh,
I
that's
mean,
good.
for first like 2
Yes.
sessions. We'll see where it goes from there.
Oh, it's going lots of places.
Soon as Ralph helps me make NPCs.
You got it. You got it. Let's do it tomorrow.
We invite all of you, Twitch folks, YouTube folks, if you just heard about us, my friend, or whatever, join us on Discord at into.space. It's just an awesome community. They're really good people. And we'd like you to join us there and become a good person too. We welcome you, if you're so inclined, to support us on Patreon at staylucky.club. I'm almost getting used to that. The money that we raise there goes to do things like refresh equipment and replace broken stuff and hire amazing artists to do incredible artwork for us for the new Chronicle. It's so excited to see. I can't wait until we can show you guys all. So that's it for us. Twitch folks, we'll see you after the break. For YouTube folks, we'll see you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.
Join us one more time for more bold action.